welcome back to my channel. I am Casochet Marie, artist, writer, disability advocate, speaker. This is my art channel, Collected Casochet, so welcome back. Today I thought I would do a video showing you everything that I have on my art cart. And I recently picked this up. My art supplies were kind of all over the place a little bit, and I really like to be organized, especially with having a disability, having a traumatic brain injury. I like to have things organized so that I can keep track of them. I know where they are, because even if I have them in a specific place, I may forget where they are because brain injury. But anywho, let's get into what I have on my art cart. So on the bottom level, I have some newspaper. I use that quite a bit in my paintings. Let me show you actually. So this is my piece called Maji, and it's all this part here I sculpted with recycled newspaper, New York Times, if you know, you know, and painted over that, or I plastered over it first and then painted over it. But I use this for so many things. I also use it like on my table, underneath my clay, underneath my paintings, so recycled newspaper. And then I just have some decoupage. I have some matte varnish to go on top of my creations. I have some cardboard. This came in something that I used to store my stickers in. But I was like, this is like the perfect size for doing my little clay sculptures on, or painting something, you know, so nothing goes to waste. I am a sustainable artist. Then I have my paint palette here, which I never clean off. I probably need to try to take this stuff off, but whatever. It's acrylic, so it dries hard, so it doesn't really matter. Then I have some other various varnishes, matte, glossy. I have my paint thinner, or turpentine, down here. I use that to thin my paints and to clean my brushes and whatnot. And then I have a bunch of different paints down here also in various different colors. And this is acrylic glass paint, but I found out through my research it could be used on anything. It's just basically like acrylic paint. It just may have like a little bit more of a see-through quality, so you might have to do more than one layer, but you can use it just like regular acrylic. So I was like, no reason to buy more expensive art supplies if I can just use what I have. And so then on this second level, I have my clay tools. Love this set. It has like basically everything you could possibly need for working with clay, air dry clay, polymer clay, which is something that I've recently started getting into these past few months, and I love it. Totally enjoying it. And you can head to my website to see more of my creations. Actually, mostly it's on social media right now. I'm still working on updating my website with my art stuff, but my portfolio is on there. And then I also have my journal. This comes in handy for a lot of different things. Of course, when I'm doing my art, and specifically when I'm doing my pins and my bag charms, I use this to poke the hole in it, because right now I am doing it after I make the pins, because I put a faux leather backing on them, just to give it like a little bit of a nicer finish. And so I put the backing on there, and then after, you know, it's all dry, then I poke the hole in there for the ring, just so it's a little nicer, a little more finished. And then I have my little paintbrush, universal glass brush washer. It's got like the little mesh inside there, so you can rub your toothbrush. Don't rub your toothbrush in paint thinner. Rub your painting brush in there to get the paint off. It works really, really well. So then I also have a bunch of random secondhand jewelry. I have some earrings, I have some pins, and these I'm gonna put clay over to remake them. Again, sustainability. And then I have this cute basket I got from the thrift store, and it holds a lot of like various supplies right now. I have cookie cutter, I have my chalk pastels, I also have my oil paints. Let's see, there's a permanent marker in here, and some of my little templates for my clay pieces. And then on this level, I also have my rubbing alcohol, which comes in handy, again, working on the clay to just clean it off, make sure it's nice and smooth. And then I also have some painter's tape, comes in handy for marking off spots on my palettes, holding down pieces of paper that I'm painting on and whatnot. Then on the top level, we've got some clay varnish. I've got gloss and matte, depending on what effect I want. I have a sponge that I use for my clay pieces. I have a ton of paintbrushes from various different, sources. I also have a ring sizer, which is a new thing that I've been working on, is clay rings, which I'm probably not gonna be offering a ton of those because with my brain injury and my vision issues, it takes like a lot out of me to do it. It's a lot of like small close work, obviously, making rings. And so I'm probably not gonna be offering too many of those, but I really love making them so far. It's so much fun. And then one of the things I use probably the most, almost, I would say, is my Posca markers. I use these on my paintings. I use these on my pins, on my charms. Like, this is not sponsored, but I'm a hardcore Posca girl. And then I have these. It's synthetic dreadlock hair, and I have wire wrapped around it. I use this in my paintings, in my art pieces. So this will be a part of one that I'm working on now. It'll be forthcoming in the next, I don't know, sometime. And so then I have another little secondhand basket here on the top level. Again, holds some various stuff. Here's my synthetic dreadlock hair, scissors, glue. I have an X-Acto knife, and then some of the other things that I use to accessorize my pieces. I have cowrie shells. I have the little hair embellishments. I don't know if you can see that, but like if you get your hair braided, those sort of things that you put on there on the ends. I should probably put some on my little braids right now. More hair embellishments. I have the little D-rings for my keychains, different Sharpie. I have my jewelry, pliers. These are the cutters, wire cutters. And then I also have different kind of key ring. I have several different kinds that I like to use. And I have another ring sizer. I use this to make my rings. It really comes in handy because I can just press it down into the clay and then have the sizes there. Oh, I just poked myself on my X-Acto knife. The little thing was not on there properly. That is not safe. Okay, and then I also have, this is kind of fun. I recently went vegan again. Well, I've been vegan, I don't know, for maybe like 6 months again. Off and on since high school, I've been vegan, which is another story. But so I don't eat eggs anymore, but these come in handy. This is one of those old-fashioned egg, like you put your boiled egg in there. Like I love anything from like the 30s to the 50s. That's like my favorite era. You can say I'm wearing like a 1970s jumpsuit right now, but so I keep these. These are great for mixing paints. I keep my rubbing alcohol in here. I also put my slip in there for when I'm working on my clay pieces. So I had a bunch of these, and again, I was like, why get rid of them if I can find another use for them? So I kept them, and now they are an art tool. Let's see what else we have in here. Let's see, so I have some more cowrie shells here. These ones, the other ones have like a little gold ring on them so that I can attach them to things, but these are just plain by themselves. I have some more glue. I got Gorilla Glue. I use this a lot for attaching my pieces. And then I have some cheap erasers that I use for erasing. I have a circle drawing tool. This comes in handy too. I actually recently found this in my like business office supplies. And then I also have, here are some backs for pins. I like this kind. I feel like they're a little more sturdy than just like the push kind. These are the ones that you can flip open and then the little part comes out like that. You probably can't really see it in the video, but yeah, I like using these kinds because they're a little bit more sturdy. And then what else do we have? Ooh, no! Okay, so I just spilled them everywhere, but that's the good thing about having a cart because everything is all contained, but these are the little chains you can use. I have these for my charms. Again, I don't know how well you can see this in the video, but they come together like this. If you don't have a brain injury and you can control your hands better than I can. Okay, there you go, like that. I have a ton of these that I just filled at the top of the cart, but again, it's all contained in one place, so that's okay. Then I also have wire. I use this on my clay pins and charms also. Especially, I have this thing that I'm going to be doing kintsugi. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that term, but it's the Japanese art of like if a piece of pottery breaks, then they repair it with a precious metal, usually gold or silver. And it kind of relates to my journey with my accident. If you're not familiar with my story, in 2017 I was struck by a car traveling 48 miles per hour while crossing the street in downtown Phoenix, and you can't see them super well because my mom's an herbalist, and so she made me lots of nice products to help with my scarring. But I basically see my scars as kintsugi because, you know, I was broken, I was injured, and for some people it may have seemed like, you know, after becoming disabled that I was no longer useful, and that was how I felt, honestly, going through this process initially, because I was a different person. I couldn't do the things that I used to be able to do. But my scars are like my kintsugi because I was broken. The scars represent me coming back even more valuable and even better than before the accident. And so that's what I'm going to be doing, because my clay pieces are, I don't know if I'd say fragile, but they're art pieces. They're not made to just be, you know, thrown around or whatever. So if it does happen to break, I have these metals that I'm going to be using to repair them. So I'm going to be sharing more about what that looks like in the near future. So if you have not already, be sure that you are subscribed. You turn on those notifications so you don't miss anything good coming up. And then let's see, what else we got here? I also have the wire in gold. So depending on what color I want to use for fixing the pieces or creating them in the first place. More rings. And then, like I said, I use a faux leather on the back of all my pins and charms. And so that's this. I have it pre-cut because it helps me save time when I'm feeling well enough to do it. I just cut some extra pieces to size so that they're ready to go whenever I need them. So that's it. That's what's on my art cart right now. I think that's everything pretty much. Yeah, make sure that you are subscribed and stay tuned for more awesome art content.